the spring of 2012, a scientific research team traveled to the Andes to find evidence of the earthquake's influence on the Chillon volcano, and thus establish a completely new correlation between earthquakes and volcanoes. Join us again.
Okay. Now we'll review first the teaching materials for course week program. What is the different series continues to last week. We have reviewed the communism versus democracy. So today I will review the what is the difference between the communism versus socialism. Most of them we are confusing the communism and socialism. So I briefly review the what is the different socialism versus communism. Most of them in media and in conversation, the concept of communication and socialism are used interchangeably. We are using it interchangeably to refer to the essentially the same economic or political philosophy. Okay? So sometimes the communism and socialism is usually interchangeably referred. In reality, these are two different philosophies that while having some similarities also have some very stark differences. Stark difference means it's very extremely differences. Understanding the similarities and the differences can be useful in terms of appreciation and nuances, very detailed differences, nuances of communism versus socialism in discussions or publication. So very little difference for nuance. So similarities, what is the similarities between them? The communism and socialism both arose in the context of the Industrial Revolution and largely as a response to time and business owners who were become extremely wealthy by exploiting their works. Exploit. So take up this torrent something. So they are exploiting their works. As you know, this democracy versus communism or some other philosophies related for who owns the surplus. Who owns the surplus? So if we produce some materials and make the income, and then extra income, who owns the extra income to surplus? Belongs to workers or the capital investors. This is exactly divide the communism. So the similarities between communism and socialism is they are exploiting their workers. Through different processes, both philosophies look at the current situation as being unsustainable and eventually societal pressure, so the resulting drastic changes, very extremely or fully changed. Other key similarities include each is built on the premise the individual will contribute to society based on their own ability. It's very similar. Depends on the ability. Both advocates advocating this. Also, they insist that institutions are centralized and either controlled by government or by collectives. Collectives is some group. This effectively leaves private business as a producer of goods and services. Governments plays a large role in economic investment and planning, either in centralized form or decentralized to local government bodies. So both of the philosophies, consumerism and socialism, is centralized economy or decentralized from the local economy. What is the differences to philosophies? While there are certainly key similarities in the philosophies of communism and socialism, there are differences that make considering that interchangeably incorrect. The most fundamental difference is that under communism, the individuals are provided for or compensated based on their needs. The key word is need. In effect, meaning that in the true communist system, you wouldn't have money and you would simply be given what the government thinks you need in terms of food, clothes, accommodations, etc. The central to socialism is that individuals are compensated for based on their individual contribution. Okay? Socialism is based on the individual contribution, but the communism is based on the needs. Okay? So people that work harder or smarter will receive more than those that don't contribute. This difference highlights the key flaw in communist model, where no one has any motivation to work harder or smarter, as it would have no impact or benefit for them. The exact difference is that the communism and socialism is contribute that the socialism has some motivation, because it's, if I work hard and I get more benefit. But the communism is no need to motivation. Even if I work harder or not, I receive the same thing. This is the exact difference, socialism and communism. Other key differences include that the communism views of all properties as being public property, and effectively there is no personal property. Communism has not allowed the individual or personal property or items have like socialism rather sees individuals to have their personal property. Socialism is allowed the personal property or items. Socialism is the core in economic philosophy, whereas communication is economic and political in its requirement. The government be the central owner and decision maker in all matters. As a key point is that the motivation to work harder or not. The communism rejects any religion, as you know, and move on. The communication sees the complete abolishment or class distinctions. So they have some class distinction. So they have some hierarchy, class distinction. Communism sees the transition for capitalism as being violent revolution, where the education system is effectively destroyed as the workers rise up against the middle and upper classes. Communism occurs the rise of middle class. Middle and upper classes rise up and then make it a community. But the socialism that rather sees a gradual transition, step by step, very slowly gradual transition from capitalism through legal and political process. So communism means to again rise up against the middle and upper level, but on the other hand, the socialism is step by step, gradually transit from capitalism, and the method is legally and politically processing the socialism. So communism and socialism in practice, if actually we have the communism country or the socialism country, contrary to what many would think, they have never actually been a purely communist state since the philosophy was created. They don't have the no purely communist country. The Soviet Union, China, Vietnam, Cuba, and North Korea, they are the closest examples. Although none of them fully achieved a purely communist structure. Personal property, the abolition of money, and the elimination of a class system are all areas where consumerism wasn't achieved, even in these mere examples. Okay, they don't allow the world not approve that. So these countries focus more on the central government's dominance. That means it's central planning system in all aspects of the economy, politics, and decision making. So that means the central government control of everything. This is communism country. But the socialism similarly has never been fully adopted in any country, not fully adopted. So that's why definitely this country is socialism. We don't have it since the philosophy was created. Some countries such as Norway, Sweden, France, and Canada have many socialist policies, such as free healthcare and dominant government role in many shared services, but still have very strong capitalist structures and traditions in place. Only time we will tell, now we will tell only if either of these economic or political philosophy will ever be realized. As you know, China is moved on to the philosophy little by little close to socialist country. As you know, the Finland, Norway, Sweden is a move on the socialism from the capitalist country. That's why so far we cannot exactly this country is communist, this country is socialist. We don't have it now. So that's why very confusing or very similar to country system, because of the philosophy is mingled or mixed up the policy, economy or decision making or politics. Okay. And now we review the last week news in United States from the Los Angeles Times. Tuesday, April 16, the title headlines: the fire has devastated the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, but we will rebuild, says French President Emmanuel Macron. So, as you know, the last week we have a big fire in Paris. So, also these big issues last week. At Notre Dame, all hopes is not lost. What's the meaning of the title? Nowadays, the French President Emmanuel Macron is very low support rate because he is very young and he is not supported from the majority. So he is very poor situation. But in the meantime, the Notre Dame was fired, and then most report of the world they say it is more chance to him to reverse his attitude or something, reputation. That's the point. That's why they write the title is at Notre Dame, all hope is not lost. Maybe the Emmanuel Macron said that. For more than 8 centuries, Notre Dame de Paris has been at the heart of the city's spiritual, intellectual, and cultural life. That is the center of the Paris. On Monday, onlookers, sightseers, onlookers sweat, gasped in horror, gasped pant, so like that, horror, and sang Ave Maria. You know that Ave Maria has more than 400 pilots battled a fast moving race. The consumer rod, part of the 850 years old Gothic monument, Gothic site. Across the world, others watched too, including President Trump, who took his firefighting advice that wasn't well received. Among the devout, it's a very deep religious devout, very strong, deep religious faith. We say the devout. Among the devout, the misery of the spectacle was heightened by the timing. Holy Week, as you know, last week is Easter Day, Easter Sunday. So before Easter Sunday, 6 days, and then the fire. So it's very highlighted by timing. The Holy Week, the Fashion Week, just 6 days from Easter Sunday, when the smoke cleared, officials said Notre Dame's roof was mostly destroyed, mostly burned. But they believe the cathedral structure has been saved. The fate of many art treasures inside was unclear, though some have been removed because the building was undergoing renovation. French President Emmanuel Macron has vowed Notre Dame will be reconstructed. He said, "Oh, I can do it only 5 years. I can do it." But the expert or other relay staff says, at least it takes time to 15 to 20 years and lots of money. But the Macron, as I said, he has very poor reputation, and that this is very good chance to increase my impression or something. That's why he said, I mean, only 5 years is enough then, something. Okay, move on next issues. Pushback on Trump's sanctuary threat. Last week I said that in the Governor Gavin Newsom in California and some cities, San Diego or San Francisco mayors allowed our city is a sanctuary safety zone. And then Trump said, okay, if you want the sanctuary city, okay, now it's lots of people is waiting for the border of Mexico. And then I will take them by bus and move to your city. You know what I'm saying? They tweeting, fighting, something. The California, that's story. The California Democrats, including California Governor Gavin Newsom and the number of mayors, San Diego, San Francisco, some small cities, have stepped up their attacks on Trump. Step up means make more strength. So they are more strength attack them. The overwhelming threat to send the immigrants to so-called sanctuary city, the safety city, is a sanctuary city. Trump's response has been to double down on an idea that his own aide advisor had told him is probably illegal and unfeasible. Unfeasible means it's very difficult to carry out. It's unfeasible. Also, it's illegal. If you're doing that, it's illegal. his aides told Trump. And then the other one is a double known. Some experts say could backfire. Backfire means is some side effect. And lure means is attract. More migrants to United States. So two things. One thing is illegal or unfeasible. The other one is backfire or lure more immigrants. Meanwhile, the Trump administration has moved to restart a policy that forces Central American asylum seekers to return to Mexico to wait a justification at the justification what their claim. And approach the David, remain in Mexico. It comes after the federal appeals court in California temporarily lift means is cancelled, and injunction is order to stop doing any more things. Injunction that has wrapped the policy is remain in Mexico. David means we so-called the title is remain in Mexico. That's why I cannot move to a sanctuary city. They say the California court also decided that. And move on Wednesday issues the line and early look at the scientific, technical, and aesthetic difficulties. Aesthetic means is beautiful machine, beautifully. That awaiting during the long recovery processes for the Notre Dame Cathedral. As I said, it's before yesterday, it takes a long time. The challenges of rebuilding of Notre Dame after fire tour through the Notre Dame defense on Monday. It didn't take a long for French tycoons. Tycoons means is big companies and regular citizens to offer up about 700 million to help pay for repairs. Now it's guys make a fraud donation email to center all over the world. And can you donate to rebuild innovation to Notre Dame Cathedral? This is a long, okay, fake. Don't participate. Don't respond to that, okay? So, but there is only so much that money can buy. The architects and engineers expect a decades-long restoration process, at least 10 to 20 years, with unprecedented challenges. This is no case, no experience unprecedented. Designers will need to navigate complicated structural issues and delicate debates about whether to faithfully recreate the historical structure or has it reflect modern times. Designers will need to navigate. Navigating means the navigation, but this sentence meaning is deal with. How can we deal? The complicated, difficult structural issues, and the delicate means is sensitive. There are sensitive debate and talking about whether we make innovation something. And they will all be asking the same question. How do you revive an 850 years old icon? This is issues then. So icon means symbol. Okay. Move on next item. The green here isn't from the grassroots democracy. You just heard that? Grassroots. grassroots. So it's so some very small play style democracy. Very small money and then donate. Lots of people donate. That's the type thing. In the presidential race, where almost their candidate claims to be supported by small donors and immune from the ills of big money in politics. So means is some candidates receive from the money, get the money from a small donors. So also something like the Donald Trump style received the donation from big, huge, rich guy. The first round of the campaign financial disclosure statement in open statement has made clear that some are much closer to the grassroots than others. While Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, he's almost 77 years old, that's a little bit long, old, can boast that more than 80% of his hefty means is a big and strong, big and strong campaign account, comes from donation of less than $200. So it's very small money, small donation. Other major Democratic candidates are nowhere close, but other people is different, exactly different. And in terms of fundraising from any source, they are all chasing President Trump with copy of President Trump, who raised roughly 30 million in the first quarter. Now it's Donald Trump is big money from the donation. So today morning news, the former Vice President is declared, okay, I will participate for next president campaign. Okay, that's Biden. He's also old boy. Okay, move on to the Thursday, April 18. The stage is set up. It's set for redacted version of the Mueller report to come out today. So as you know, the Attorney General William Barr is only summarized the 4 pages, and then they submit only 4 pages summary to the Parliament, Congress, and then all congressmen and the senators complain to him, and then finally he's give up to open all page 400 something. So last Thursday they opened that. We can also see that the justice ready for redaction and the reaction. What's the meaning redaction? Redaction is a little bit modified, a little bit changed content. So it's a redaction. The title is ready for redactions and the reaction. The Justice Department plans to release a redacted version, whole page, but a little bit delete the name or some strategy, a little bit delete of Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III confidential report today. A step that will shed new light on. Shed light on means is make clear. Okay, this is a video. But shed new light on means is make clear. That will make clear the hotly contested Russia investigation. The contested means is debate, argue. The hotly argued debate Russian investigation, and could be one of the pivotal moment, important moment of Donald Trump presidency. But before the report is released, Attorney General William Barr is scheduled to hold the new conferences at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, along with the Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein. So chief and vice chief is make some new conferences the morning. More than an hour after that, the Justice Department plans to send copies of the report to Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is United States, the Congress, the Capitol. That means it's congressman. The timing has sparked criticism from House Democrats who fears Bai is trying to put his own spin. Spin means not spin. This one means opinion. Okay, it's put his own idea or opinion on the investigation before the report is public. Report is open. Public means it's open. Meanwhile, Trump's legal team is also preparing to release its own counter report. It's a response. And Trump said he may hold new conferences himself. Check LAtimes.com for the latest developments. Means it's the latest accident occurs. So if you want to full page 248 messaging, you can find the LAtimes.com is widely open at the full page. So today live Friday, April 19. Special counsel Robert S. Mueller says a redacted report lays out means it's presented. Lays out. This is a final report. This is a lays out. The evidence and suggests Congress decide whether President Trump obstructed justice. Means he is engaged in Russian connection or something. Title is Mueller lets Congress be the judge. Maybe the Congress committee will call the Mueller and then make some meetings or conference thing. So this is another problem for President Trump. The point is that Mueller did not any decision, but who decided? Okay, congressmen or people, because it's Mueller's investigate and talking and some examine all staffs and advisor of Trump's. But they said, I meet him, I met Russian guys, I met Deutsche Bank, something, a lot of the evidence there. But Mueller asked to interview with Trump, but Trump denied it. And only he suggests, I will do it only letters, response, okay? So the Muellers cannot directly interview with Trump. So at that time, the most staff said the Mueller decides the special counsel. At that time, the Donald Trump has put down the chairs and then oh my god, and he said, I'm spoiled or something like that. So why he said that? Why he did some kind of motion? Maybe he's guilty or something like that. This is a bit in the story. The Mueller, in his redacted 448-page report, he did every time. Special counsel Robert S. Mueller portrays express. Okay? President Trump as a mercurial leader. You know the mercurial human. Mercurial human is change mind every second. Yes, I like him. So, and then he turn around and change mind. This is human. Okay, it's a mercurial leader. How can you say that? Yeah. Robert Mueller is only just lawyer. But he said the president is mercurial leader who repeatedly and frantically sought to undermine the federal investigation into Russia's interference in the 2016 campaign. So the Mueller said the Trump is the mercurial leader also is repeatedly or frantically he said and pushed to advising and stepping. So the only thing that seemed the sort president's hymns means sort means disturb them. Disturb. Hymns. Whimsical hymn is similar one. The prick. Advisor who ignored his orders. So at that time, Donald Trump ordered that can you say to lie or cannot go, attend this meeting even if the Congress is called. Trump pushed to the steps, cannot say, cannot go there. Okay, so he pushed them, but the all steps did not follow the Trump's order. That's the story. The president's efforts to influence the investigation were mostly unsuccessful. They did not follow that Trump's order, but that is largely because the persons who surrounded the president declined to carry out orders or accepted his request. It's serious thing. Even if the president ordered or was please accept my suggestion, but they did not accept. Mueller wrote, the report also says Trump's campaign had expected it would benefit from Moscow's meddling. Meddling means intervene is insulting. So is anyway Trump gets some benefit from Russia, particularly from information stolen and released through Russian actors. Anyway, Russian insert the 2016 campaign. But that an investigation did not establish that multiple contacts between Trump associates and Russia constituted a conspiracy involving the election. So what now? On the issue of obstruction, Mueller wrote that Congress should be the judge. Now it's tossed the ball to Congress. I cannot. This is include the impeach or not, I cannot do it. I cannot decide. Only toss the ball to the Congress. And Democrats has vowed to pick up. Pick up means make again. Where Mueller's report left off. Why the Mueller's report is stopped there. We have to make again investigation. Okay, the Democrats vowed that. This is another final issue. Okay, Monday, April 22nd, authorities in Sri Lanka are investigating a deadly string of Easter morning attacks as churches and luxury hotels. So terror in Sri Lanka. Today also news says the Sri Lanka bomb is who did it? I think maybe they don't have any evidence, but the rumor is the IS some controlled some Sri Lanka strong Islamic peoples, and then they do it. But just still investigate. Also now they have the over 321 people were killed there, and over 500 is wounded there. Biotech in Jordan. And the move on last page 4. So all the presidents liar. So in a crime to lie, federal investigators or Congress, a lesson, the meaning is a lesson, is that many of President Trump's associates found out the hard way. Found out. How can we do that? How can we do that? The final report is in there, my name is in there or not. He did not say home or my name is in here or something. They are all steps to worry about that. Trump's this is a hard way. But it's not crime to lie or report, and the American people. And for that, the president's team can be grateful. Thankful. Oh, I'm really sad. The redacted 440-page Mueller report exposed in voluminous, vast, voluminous detail how the Trump White House is comparable not only spinning the truth. This sentence spinning is turn the truth to the expose. open the truth, but also outright demolishing it. Demolishing is destroy them. Okay, so outright is out and out. It's truly destroy. So the final 440 page is to turn the truth or also outright demolishing. That means it's affected the next campaign of Donald Trump. Is it affect that or not? But okay, this is another story. Okay, this is all today class, and thanks for coming. We see you. Okay, bye. Whoa. 오늘